afternoon and good evening, everybody. And if you're wondering why I'm saying good afternoon, it is because we have been joined by someone all the way from Connecticut, and it's about 2 p.m. for him. So welcome to this 50th celebratory Hall of Fame for a Toastmasters district that spans the United Kingdom and Ireland from 1972 to 2022. I would like to acknowledge the contributions from the other members of the team. Past District Director Red Skelton, past Division C Director Seamus Hines, and Division S Director Adrian Herbert. Now, unfortunately, Adrian cannot be here tonight, but I think the team would confirm with me that Adrian put a lot of work into putting this presentation together with the rest of us. We have many Toastmasters dignitaries with us tonight, and I would like to welcome Acting International President Richard Peck, past International President Ted Corcoran, past International Director Teresa Dukes. We have many past district directors from District 71, but as you are going to be recognized later on during the presentation, I'm going to collectively welcome all past district directors from District 71 and also past district directors from District 91. District 91 Director Helena Bowden Brewer, and of course District 71 Director Daniel Sanders. So now I'm going to call on our special guest today who has flown here from Connecticut. So it's Richard E. Peck from Seymour in Connecticut. Richard was a senior member of the Network Support Division at AT&T, where he worked for 30 years, at least. He worked for over 30 years. During his tenure as a project manager, he led cross-functional teams to successfully deliver several multi-million-dollar high-tech projects annually. Peck earned an MBA in International Business at the University of Texas at Dallas. He is a certified project management professional by the Project Management Institute. His volunteer work includes serving with Lions Club and also with the Catholic War Veterans. Peck was a recipient of the 2018 Presidential Award for volunteerism. He's been a Toastmaster since 2006. He's a member of his home club, which is Nutmeg in Woodbridge, Connecticut, and also a member of Park City Toastmasters. He says that through Toastmasters, we have the ability to change the world one member at a time. Can you please put your hands together with me and give a warm welcome to Acting International President Richard Peck.
Well, thank you, Patricia. It's a pleasure to be here with you today and celebrating this milestone anniversary. 50 years, golden. What a time. When I think about the 50 years, it talks to me about the commitment of the members that are in District 71 that have been there over time to help individuals continue to grow and develop new skills, become the best versions of the individual they want to be, to help them reach beyond the barriers that they put in front of themselves and thinking that they can't be a good communicator or possibly not be a great leader. It also speaks to me about the leaders that have come before us, who are here presently, and those who will continue to lead into the future. Districts are a compilation of the members and the leaders that are there. It talks to the culture, it talks to the dynamics, it talks to how we as individuals come together as a community. But 50 is a number, and we often get hung up on what numbers mean. For me, as I look at the number 50, I think more about the impact that the district and the members have made on the world. The culmination of that time. Think about the first member that you met in your club. Think about your time as a guest. Think about guests that have joined your club and have gone on to do great things, things that they never would have thought they could have, things that maybe you didn't think they could have. There are many individuals here today who are recognized and will be recognized later for their contributions. They may not have joined with the intent of making those contributions, not knowing what they would do. I'm pretty sure that past international director Teresa Dukes, when she was coming up as a member, didn't imagine that she would serve as an international director, and she did. Past international president Ted Corcoran, taking the reins and helping to grow through Europe. Our paths are not set in front of us. They're winding roads that we choose to take. Each one of us takes their own path, but we don't take it alone. We take it with the support, the encouragement, and the commitment of our fellow Toastmasters, not just in our club, not just in our district, but around the world. And I truly believe that we change the world one member at a time, because it's not about changing the entire world. It's about changing the world for one person. And that person, in turn, doing the same. Look at what we've done throughout our near 100-year history. Look at the individuals we've changed. Look at how we ourselves have changed, and will continue to do so. I have no doubt that District 71 is going to continue to make major contributions throughout our organization, throughout the world. 50 years is just a stepping stone. You have much more time ahead of you. And I wish you all the best in your celebrations today and in your celebrations going forward. Patricia?
Oh, thank you very much, Richard. And we appreciate you coming along and saying those lovely words on this golden anniversary. And you are right, it is one member at a time. And I think for many of our members who are here on this call, you are going to be surprised at how many members we have in our district who have been members for more than 30 years. Now, unfortunately, I don't make that group, as I only joined in 2002. But it also means that when we get to celebrate another 50 years, unfortunately, it's extremely unlikely, unless we have great advance in medical science, it's extremely unlikely that I will actually get to see it. To set the tone, I'm supposed to be calling on past international president, Ted Corcoran. Take it away, Ted.
Well, thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Acting International President Peck, dignitaries, fellow Toastmasters, welcome to 50 years celebration. We are here today to celebrate the outstanding story of persistence and passionate commitment from countless Toastmasters down the years since 1972. A story which has brought us to where we are today, proudly celebrating District 71's 50th anniversary. A district now encompassing central and northern England, Scotland, and Ireland. We can be truly proud of the efforts of everybody concerned. Efforts willingly given from every level of committed district leadership, from our dedicated club officers and from our highly achieving club members. Efforts that are outstanding examples of our organization's core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence. From just 31 clubs in all of Britain and Ireland in 1972, the district has grown today to 203 clubs. Even after 121 were allocated to District 91 in southern England and Wales on its formation in 2014. This year, we celebrate our 50th anniversary with great pride and quiet satisfaction, while paying tribute to all those members at club and district level who have worked tirelessly over these 5 decades to expand the number of clubs and to ensure every member had the best opportunity to grow their communication and leadership skills. As Vince Lombardi, the great coach of the American football team, the Green Bay Packers, famously said, leaders aren't born, they are made. And they're made just like anything else, through hard work. And that's the price we'll have to pay to achieve that goal, or any goal. End of quote. Many thanks to the countless number of leaders and members who paid and are paying this price, and whose hard work, dedication, and commitment got us today to 2022, where we are now celebrating our 50th. In the next 2 hours or so, you will see and hear about the people, clubs, and events who made this possible. So now, Madam Toastmaster, let's get on with the celebrations. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Ted. So when we were working on this, we had to put together quite a lot of information, and we had to source that information from the membership lists that were available to us. And some of you might notice that when we go through these slides, this first section of slides, which show all the members that are here for more than 30 years, that have been members of the district for more than 30 years, you may notice some names are missing. And that's because we either were unable to contact them, or they asked not to have their name shown on a slide, because for GDPR purposes, we had to contact each one of them individually. There may be other names that you may feel have done more than 30 years. If that's the case, please send us those names, and we will certainly, if it checks out, we will add them to these lists before the presentation is circulated. So I'm going to be helped in this presentation by Red Skelton and Seamus Hines. So can I ask you all to sit back? So we're going to start off with the members that have been members for more than 30 years. And as I said, I'm going to be helped in this by Red Skelton and Seamus Hines. Okay, with a remarkable 52 years of service, we have Martin Cowley from Hellfire, Mary O'Connor Kilkenny, Evelyn Campani, Nace, Robin Ward, Dunleary, John Quirk, Fermoy, Harry Knox, DLS Communicators, Andrew Moss, Oxford Speakers, Norman Rhodes, Maidenhead, and Una Healy, Engineers. This is for you.
We have Roger Lord from Amesbury Speakers, Philip Bowles from Thames Speakers, Peter Jones from Harborovian Speakers, Ted Corcoran from Finnegal, Billy Walsh, Castleknock, Gus Mulligan, Castleknock, Eddie Dumfrey from Bray, Esther Penny from Lucan, and James Book from Grosvenor Square.
And to hear why Una Healy stays so long in Toastmasters, will you please welcome Una?
Mr. Toastmaster and all fellow Toastmasters and guests on Zoom. My assignment is what keeps me in Toastmasters. Well, I'm a member of the Hellfire Club, and in my club, it's the members keep me in Toastmasters. We have a common bond, common interest, that is to improve our ability to speak in front of people, a group of people of any size or any kind, any size, great or small, and any kind of association or situation. Now, at our Hellfire meetings, I sense the atmosphere of support. The support's the main thing. It's in the air, and it creates in me a feeling of confidence that I can get up and speak either in the club or outside on other occasions, all at my own pace and at my own ability. Now, I find every challenge in Toastmasters, every assignment, I should say, in Toastmasters, I find a challenge, but it is certainly a challenge worth a taking. What else keeps me in Toastmasters? Well, our founder, Dr. Ralph Smedley, said Toastmasters should be an educational experience, but it also must be a fun experience. And believe you me, there's always fun, chat and enjoyment at our Health Farm meetings. Now, I treasure all the Toastmasters of all clubs, particularly Hilary Thomas 100 years ago, who have helped me, encouraged me in the past, and I treasure those who still encourage me. As an organization, I just treasure Toastmasters International. Mr. Toastmaster, thank you.
Okay, Patricia, will I move on to the next slide?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, and the next slide we have, with 35 years service, we have Bartholomew White from Engineers and Helen Keenan from Athlone. We have the following on 34 years: Kathy Shelburne, Julian Hammond, Paul Ellis, Helen Spillane, Nola Bera, and Dennis Corcoran. And on 33 years, we have Robert Finch. And I would love to hear what Julian Hammond has to tell us why he stays in Toastmasters. So please welcome Julian Hammond.
Good evening. Can everybody hear me okay?
Sure.
Well, fellow Toastmasters, and can I call you friends? Because there are many friends here tonight. What keeps me in Toastmasters? Well, in 2 minutes, Toastmasters has given me 3 gifts. The first gift, it actually saved my career. In 1987, my boss came to me and said, Julian, I want you to do a presentation to a national conference. And I started to write furiously. And he said, my word, you're keen. I said, keen, that's my deep resignation. If you think I'm going to do that, you've got another thing coming. He was a patient man. He found Toastmasters via a Speechcraft course run by one John Smith, and also introduced me to Norman Rhodes, 2 fantastic mentors in my Toastmasters career. Gift number 2, Toastmasters has enriched the lives of my close family as well, who I hold really very dear. My brother Andy, I think is in the room, has got his DTM. He's also been District Director of District 91 and got a lot from Toastmasters, I know. And my own son Carl, distinguished Toastmaster, become a very confident adult. He's an award-winning speaker, and they've gained so much. Gift number 3, Toastmasters has given me the confidence to chase my dreams, and that's no understatement. I went from a petrified presenter to an international trainer. And only last week we were training across the planet on Zoom to people as far away as Malaysia and China, across Europe. Now, I wouldn't have dreamt of that all those years ago. What keeps me in Toastmasters? Well, apart from some fantastic friendships I've made over the years and continue to speak to and to see, I just want to share this gift with as many other people as I possibly can. But ultimately, what keeps me in Toastmasters is to repay the debt I will forever owe Toastmasters for changing my life. It's been absolutely priceless. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Julian. John Joyce, with a 33 years service, Dun Laoghaire. Kevin Kinahan, also 33 years service, Engineers. Greg Butler, 33 years service, Cork Toastmasters. David Minzy, 33 years service, Eldergate. And with 32 years service, we have Shay Rochford from Talking Heads, Catherine Scanlon from Cork Douglas, John Spillane from Nina, Eileen Lockman from NACE, and Maura Parkinson from Engineers. Over to you, Seamus.
Okay, we'd now like to hear from Kathy Shelburne to hear what keeps Kathy in Toastmasters, keeps her there so long. So please welcome Kathy.
Fellow Toastmasters, What keeps me in Toastmasters? Well, I've been a member, as you've seen, for over 30 years, starting off with Oxford Speakers Club, then moving to Articulate Speakers Club in Dereham, then to the newly formed Norwich Speakers Club, and now with Ipswich Electrified Speakers Club. What keeps me? Well, it is, of course, as everybody said, it's friendship, it's stimulation, motivation, leadership, etc., etc. But for me, the crucial thing is adrenaline. It really gives me a buzz. And I think I can say that in all those years, almost every single meeting I've been to, I have gone away on an absolute high, a real buzz, except for one meeting. And that was, sorry to say, back at Oxford Speakers Club when I was a very new member and somebody gave me a roasting. And it has taught me to be so, so careful because I nearly didn't come back. I nearly was not here with you tonight. So I've made some fantastic friends over the years. Some of them are here. Hello, Julian. Hello, Julie. Hello, Teresa. I think the overriding thing for me is that it is the adrenaline that I walk away from a meeting on an absolute high. And even if I've been really tired, I will go away and feel not only did I participate, but hopefully I contributed to the success of that meeting for everyone as well as myself. So over to you.
Those members that have 32 years of service, we have Eva Coffey from Engineers, Joan Morrissey from Engineers, Angela Gollier, Talking Heads, Dennis McDonald, Talking Heads, Patty Quingley, Engineers, Maura Bagnall, Engineers, and Helen Oakton Ainsbury.
Okay, we'd now like to call on Andrew Moss, please. So Andrew, it's all yours.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you. People often ask me, why do I stay in Toastmasters for so long after 42 years? And the answer I always give them is, well, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to belong to an organization that gives you professional skills, leadership skills, and the kind of valuable life skills that people really need? There were three phases, I suppose, to my Toastmasters career. I began all young, relatively young, enthusiastic, eager. And in those years, I think I drew out of Toastmasters everything that Toastmasters had to give. And I took part vigorously in all sorts of activities and speech contests and everything else. It was a joyful time. I then moved on to a sort of second phase of my career in Toastmasters where I felt, you know, now is my opportunity to share some of that experience and give back some of what I've learned. And I think I found that members were by and large supportive and helpful and thankful indeed for those years of experience. I'm now an elder statesman by any test, and I occasionally do have something to give. But more importantly, as other members have said, what keeps me coming back to all the meetings is the buzz that I get from the membership, from the enthusiasm, from the eagerness, from the real dynamism of some very energetic young people now joining Toastmasters. I get a huge boost when any of them say to me, "Oh, Andrew, that was a helpful evaluation." But more than that, I have so much to learn from them. And that's why I stay. You just never stop learning. Back to you.
Okay, our next slide, Chris Howell, 31 years, Bromley Speakers. John Morris, also 31 years. Simon Wallace, 31 years. Sean McCarthy, 31 years. Michael Clark, 31 years. And John Colbert, also 31. And the following have 30. Tony McIntyre, Richard Walsh, Giles Robinson, and Angus Galbraith. Right, at this stage, we'd like to call on John Colbert to hear a few words from John. So John, it's all yours.
Thank you, Seamus, very much indeed. And it is indeed my pleasure to address you all this evening. So why am I in Toastmasters after 31 years? Well, I was taken by surprise to discover that I have been there all of this time. And certainly, I suppose the reason that I have remained in Toastmasters is because I have been enjoying myself, and it certainly has been very beneficial to me. Again, like previous speakers, Toastmasters helped me to find my voice. It helped me to develop better communication skills and leadership skills. And it's taken me on to being involved in other volunteer organizations within my locality here. But I suppose I'm also a member of a very special club. And for those of you who may have been at the Cork Cushvarga conference back in 2012, you will know the location that I'm speaking of, because it is on the south coast of Cork, where we have the three S's. We have the sun, we have the sand, and we have the sea spray. And those are key ingredients to keep people sharp and on their feet, but also to invite them back into a very appealing and a very enjoyable location to be part of. People have also referred to the fun aspect of being involved in Toastmasters, and Talking Heads is no exception in that regard, because we certainly value that the third half of the meeting in the bar is equally as important as the first two halves in the room itself. And even during Zoom, we went to the bar, and you'll be surprised, the people who used normally have their beer in the bar, and those would have their glass of wine, and those would have their minerals, they continued to do so on the Zoom bar. And we certainly had some great sessions there too as well. So it certainly showed us that we have been able to adapt to the changing scenes and even pathways, if I dare mention that word. That certainly too as well posed a challenge, but we have overcome it, and we're still enjoying it. And I'm very happy to say that we have had a very successful year, and we're looking forward to 30 more years, and I look forward to being part of it for another 30 as well too. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, John. One thing I do notice about all our long-serving members is they have really learned, because they all stayed within their 2 minutes. So thank you all very much for that. I thought that was extremely good. And as Tricia said earlier, we have a lot of long-serving members, and we must congratulate all clubs. But if I may just mention 3 clubs, and the reasons why I mention those 3 clubs in particular is because there are so many members that are long-term members of those particular club. For example, the one that John just spoke about there, Talking Heads, I think they have 10 or more with 30-year service or more. So that's absolutely excellent. And also to mention engineers and Thames speakers. Now we've one last speaker in this section, and that is Martin Cowley. As Tricia said earlier, he has 52 years. That's a huge amount of service. It's absolutely wonderful. And talking to Martin during the week, I think you will all agree that maybe it'll be a little bit unfair if we only give him 2 minutes. So Mr. Timer, or Madam Timer, I'm not sure who's timing, Martin's speech tonight, or his few words tonight, is actually going to be 4 minutes. So please welcome Martin Cowley. Martin, all yours.
Fellow Toastmasters, I first joined Belfast Toastmasters in 1970. A friend of mine was getting married, and he wanted me to get some practice in giving his best man speech. Why do I remain in Toastmasters for 52 years? I'd say the main reason for that is because I have nothing better to do on Tuesday evening. However, I am in Hellfire, which is a very long-standing club, and I really enjoy the social part of that club. We go to the pub next door. We have outings at Christmas and during the summer. And most members of the club, with 2 exceptions, are retired. But I have great friends there, and I look upon these people as my friends. Over the years, I've met very many very interesting people and very talented people in our club. I'm still very much involved. I now at present, I hold, would you believe, 5 different roles on our committee. I won't mention them. I've also been district treasurer about 8 years ago, and that's where I expanded my interest in Toastmasters. The reason I was district treasurer was because nobody else would take up the position, and I'm an accountant. But the biggest thing in Toastmasters really is the learning aspect. You learn about communications, leadership. You learn a whole lot. And one of the things that I'm very interested in is goals, in trying to achieve goals. And even though I'm retired, I'm still goal orientated because I now work in the voluntary sector, and I still need to hone my leadership skills and my communication skills. The two biggest goals I've achieved in Toastmasters is getting the DTM. The DTM is actually, would you believe, quite easy, but you have to devote an enormous amount of time to it. And I was able to do that because I am retired. The other goal that I'm working on is pathways, and I've now achieved my first path, and I'm very proud of that in a way. But I think the greatest help Toastmasters has been to me, as I said, is in the learning end of things. The Toastmasters has given me confidence, and that is very, very important, particularly for a person in their 30s, 40s, whatever. I, for my sins, was appointed chief executive of the Mater Hospital in Dublin, and for those of you in the UK, the Mater Hospital is one of the biggest teaching hospitals in Ireland. How did I achieve that? Without a shadow of doubt, I would not have got that far in my career, but for Toastmasters. My accountancy qualification shadows that. In the accountancy world, I would have learned how to prepare a balance sheet. Very, very important. I'm joking. It's quite irrelevant in terms of running a hospital. What I needed there was good communication skills, being able to say your piece, and also to be able occasionally to give a speech or to give a presentation. You only learn that in Toastmasters. So Toastmasters has been an enormous part of my life. Pat, my wife, also a DTM, is here at the meeting this evening. And I will say to her, when she is speaking at my funeral, please say that Martin's great love in life is Toastmasters, apart from his own family. Toastmasters.
Very good.
Okay, so thank you very much, Martin. And thank you to Una, Andrew, Julian, Kathy, John, and Martin for sharing with us what keeps them in Toastmasters for so many years. We're moving on now to the clubs in United Kingdom and Ireland that chartered more than 30 years ago. And here we have, with a massive, having chartered 66 years ago, Aylesbury Speakers. And not too far behind it, 63 years ago, the Dublin Club. And not too far behind that, 61 years, Ablana. And not too far behind that again, we have Oxford Speakers. Now, clubs that chartered more than 50 years ago, we have Hellfire Club, Epsom Speakers, Cork Toastmasters, Engineers Club, Fermoy Toastmasters, and a club that chartered 47 years ago, we have Blarney Club. And now I would like to call on Helen Oakton from Aylesbury Speakers to talk about what it is, how does a club manage to stay alive for so long?
Hello, Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen. We have a magical club. We basically, regardless if there's sometimes there has been, sometimes only 4 members, can you believe it, that attend a meeting. But regardless, we ignore that and we have our meeting and we do it quite formally, so that if you don't go for formality right from the beginning, when you get a bit slack, which I think most Toastmasters do, their clubs, because I know when I first joined Aylesbury, I thought, my goodness, I'm not sure I'm going to really enjoy this, simply because it was so formal and you had to do everything by the book, and including your dress attire, you had to look frightfully smart. Us ladies always mostly did. And of course, the gentlemen had to have their jackets buttoned up and certainly be presentable. Now, later on, it was quite funny. I remember one chap coming in and I looked at him, he got shorts on and he was naturally, it makes sense, probably came from Australia. And I thought, oh, he's not going to go down too well. Someone's going to pick him up. And in fact, one of our best speakers said, we'll call him Ron. Ron, your speech was absolutely brilliant. A pity your attire didn't match your speech. And I thought that was quite amusing. For me, with Toastmasters, it has done a great deal. It's given me confidence. I'm so aware when listening to general public that basically to get their voice to carry. And I always think if only, sometimes I say, if you just deepen your voice, it will carry much, much better. So for me, being in Aylesbury Toastmasters, we have a lot of lovely, lovely people. And myself, I know I've developed a great deal because how it came across from my point of view, I lost my husband, so I lost a little, bit of confidence. And I thought, and I was asked to read the lesson in church. And I thought, oh, I'll never make it. I'll probably fall over. Then I thought, I'm not having this. Come on, Helen, straighten up, get cracking, do something about it. And I've never, ever stopped with my Toastmasters. So fellow Toastmasters, keep going in our club. Oh, humour, never, ever leave out humour. That's a must. Nice meeting you, fellow Toastmasters.
Well, thank you very much, Helen. And I think next up we have Red.
And those with 40 years of service or charter or more, we have Tower Toastmasters, Ennis Toastmasters with 46 years, Dunleary with 45 years, Grosvenor Square 42 years, Malahide Club 41 years, Bray Club 41 years, as well as Thames Speakers. Those 30 plus clubs, we have Lucan Club 39 years, Thames Down Speakers 39 years, and Limerick Toastmasters 39 years.
Thank you, Red. And I would now like to call on Dermot Carey, who is going to talk on behalf of the Dublin Club, which has more than 60 years membership of Toastmasters.
Thank you very much, Patricia. Good evening, folks. I hope you can all hear me. What makes a club successful and successful for so long? I think a number of factors are included in there. One is a very simple thing: date, time, and location. Getting your message out there to know when you meet and how you meet and where you meet. And that's really, really important. But the other things that have come to pass really is using technology and embracing technology, being one of the first to have a website, and then moving on now with Facebook and Instagram. Getting your message out there is very clear. The other thing is having no dress code. And I think that's really important today because life has changed and we've moved on. And I think that's one really important thing at the moment. But one of the key factors, I think, is including people. When new members come in, including them and getting them involved in the club. And when you get people involved in the club and you encourage them to take on their roles, the DCP points fall into place in many respects, but also not allowing people to hog the agenda or hog the committee either. So those things are really good factors. But you'll never hear, or if you hear somebody saying, we've always done it this way, you'll be very quickly told that that's not the practice in Dublin Club, because we try to do things differently if we can. And we've had spin-off clubs, including with Fiona Kearns, the Uncensored Speakers. And hopefully this year we'll have another spin-off club in September in a community club. But we're also doing innovative things during our summer break, and that is having brunch masters in the park and 2 Saturdays in July and August, and hopefully that will be successful as well. So those things are very, very important. But I think it really is about the people, the welcoming of people and the encouragement of people and mentoring people and being very, very engaging and helpful with people. So I think it's really important, and I wish everybody the greatest success in the future. And thank you very much, Patricia, and I'll hand you back. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Dermot.
Okay, the following clubs have 38 years, are in existence for 38 years. Clonmel Toastmasters, Maidenhead Speakers, Newberry Speakers, Camelot Dunham Speakers. And then on 37 years, we have the Kilkenny Club and Tara Toastmasters. And the following are in existence for 36 years. Eldergate, DLS Communicators, Fingal Toastmasters, and Castleknock.
Thank you very much, Seamus. And now I would like to call on a member of Grosvenor Square Speakers, and that is Hilary Briggs.
Thank you very much, Patricia. It's a pleasure to be here and reconnect with many members in District 71, old friends and so on as well. Grosvenor Square, we managed to get our 40th anniversary, and it was literally the last meeting before we all got locked down. So we have had a celebration, and reflecting on what is it that has helped the club to keep going for that period of time. I would echo some of the things that both Acting International President Richard Peck and past International President Ted Corcoran said. It's about the leadership, engagement of members, and that actually the commitment of experienced members, because that very much is what we've seen. I'm a relative newbie. I've only been a member over 20 years, so excuse that, but I've seen, and in fact, as president again at the moment, I've stepped in because the club needed some experienced members, and it's a core of us that are keeping the club going right now, and have had done that over the period of time. I think it's also the strong ownership that we feel, and that again echoes some of the comments earlier, that we care about Toastmasters, we care what we've learned, we want to give back. And I think seeing the benefits that members get, that is something which inspires me to keep going. Whether it's somebody, recently cases, people have got a promotion because we helped them do a presentation and practice a presentation for a job interview. Someone has just had a fantastic wedding because he was able to give his speech of just what he wanted. So these are all things that help. I'm conscious, though, past performance doesn't always predict future performance. I think some of the changes we have with the current coming back to new normal, that's keeping me engaged, and how we make sure that Grosvenor Square will be around for another 42 years. Back to you, Patricia.
Thank you very much, Hilary, and great to see you. Okay, so we're moving on to clubs that are, we have 35 years Athlone Club, then 34 years we have Durham Articulate, Thurles Toastmasters, Nina Club, Aaron Speakers on 33, along with Bandon Toastmasters. And at 32 years, we have Nace Club, Talking Heads, Thomond Club, and Society Toastmasters. I'm calling at this stage on somebody from the Fingal Club, and it's to be Bernadette Mulvey, who I don't think has joined us. Ted, would you care to step in and say a few words for Fingal?
Well, unaccustomed as I am to be called on a short notice, I suppose I have to volunteer. Well, Fingal started off in 1985, chartered in 1986, and we have maintained our membership at about 30 ever since. We're on a tidy ship, professional, hopefully, organization. And since 1999, when the new DCP was introduced, we've been President's Distinguished. And what I notice is, because I've always defined culture, or I found a definition that suited me, the way we do things around here is the best definition of culture. And that's the culture of the club. And whether I was there or not, the new people come in, and that's what they inherit, and that's what they continue. And we have all new people in the club officer roles, but they still continue the way we did it. So I'm very impressed with that, because success breeds success, there's no doubt, and people get used to it, and then they find that they need to keep doing it because it's so satisfying. So culture of the club is so important, of any club, because boiled down, it means the way we do things around here. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Ted. And moving on, Red.
For those with over 30 years, we have London Corinthians, Dungarvan Club, 31 years, Mo Valley, 31 years, Cork Douglas, 31 years. Those with 30 years, we have Norwich Speakers, Northavian Speakers, Bromley Speakers, and Glasnevin Club.
Thank you, Red. And now I would like to call upon Sue Eastman, representing the Norwich Club. Sue?
Oh, dignitaries and fellow Toastmasters, I was delighted to be asked to speak this evening on the secret of the longevity of Norwich Speakers Club on this, the special 50th anniversary of D71. I've been a member the last decade and can share many things why I feel Norwich Speakers Club celebrated its 30th anniversary this year. But first, I'm going to share some of the comments our members shared with me when I asked them. And they are as, it feels more like a community than a club. The care and non-judgmental support of members, what they show each other to achieve their given goals is continuous. Learning from diverse membership from all different walks of life. The consistent, strong committees we have to lead the club. Welcoming, supportive, inclusive, and motivational, inspirational, and empowering. Reflecting back when I became a member in 2012, I just went along to keep a friend company with no idea what I was walking into. But the thing which inspired me the most was when I first got there and the warm greeting I got and how I was made to feel that first evening, and I've never looked back. I think those first meetings as a guest and how they are made to feel is crucial, and Norwich Speakers Club prides itself on creating a friendly, encouraging, non-judgmental, uplifting, fun atmosphere, with everyone willing, both fellow members and guests who join us to achieve and to succeed in whatever their personal goals are. We as a club, we always as a club have put much importance on listening to the members and encouraging quality of evaluation and mentoring, which we believe are two of the golden nuggets of success, as well as the four core values of Toastmasters International, which we're proud to uphold. I'd just like to take this opportunity on behalf of Norwich Speakers Club to wish the district and all the clubs the very best of luck for 2022-23 and in the future. Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you, Sue. And that is the end of the clubs that chartered more than 30 years ago. We're moving on now to the contest winners. So just sit tight. We are getting nearer to the break. So we go right back to 1973 and the International Speech Contest winners. We have George Brenner from Shalala, Sean Hickey from Shannon, Bob Annenberg from Aylesbury, David Lindsay, Aylesbury. 1978, we have Susan Cowles from Oxford. 79, Russ McDevitt from Dunleary. 1980, we have Dick Cullinan from Waterford. 1981, we have Harry Knox, Waterford. And 1982, we have Stephen Johnson from Mildenhall. So we're going to ask Harry Knox to say a few words about his contest experience. And I would just remind you, Harry, that you have up to 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Patricia. Good evening, Toastmasters. It seems so long ago, 1981, when I won the district speech contest. And then it was revealed that I would be the first person from District 71 going to speak at the World Championships in Phoenix, Arizona. As the first speaker from District 71, I hadn't a clue what type of speech to expect out there. And my speech was not in keeping of the ones at the time, which turned out to be personal stories and motivational speeches. However, I managed to come second in the inter-district speech contest. So it was a great experience. Phoenix, Arizona, that conference opened up my eyes to what Toastmasters was really about, and not just about a group of clubs teaching public speaking. There was listening, there was evaluation, there was management, there was leadership, there was so much more. And I came back to Waterford and people poured cold water on my views and my vision. But I went back again in 1982, purchased the materials and took off from there. Our club Waterford in 1983 carried out the first success leadership module on effective listening. And from there, we expanded over the years. And that was the effect of being in the International Speech Contest had on me. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Harry. And over to you, Red.
1983, we have Ray Fulham from Dublin. 84, Dennis Vickers from Thames. 1985, we have Marie Pine from Ennis. She actually took first place in the World Championship. 86, we have Betty Gosnell from Oxford. 87, we have Michael Fennessy from Grosvenor Square. 88, Patricia Foley from Eblana. 89, we have Nourish O'Keefe from Bray. 90, we have Giles Robinson from Epsom. 91, we have David Lindsay from Thames. And 92, we have Adrian Day.
Sorry, I was mute there. 1993, Philip Campani from Bromley, and Philip came first place in the inter-district contest. 94 was Brian Clewer from Thurles. 1995, Philip Campani again, and he was second in the World Championship. 1996, Brendan Toll from Glasnevin. 97, Brian Clewer, Thurles. 98 was Joseph Portley, Crusaders. 99 was Paul Ellis from Lucan. 2000 was Brendan Toll again from Glasnevin, and he came first place in the inter-district. And again in 2001, we had Philip Campani. He was in London Athenians at this stage. And in 2002, Bob Ferguson from Herefordshire. Over to you, Patricia.
So in 2003, we had Bob Harvey from Bromley. 2004, Eric Rainey, Capital Communicators, and he took second place inter-district. And again, in 2005, we had Eric Rainey, and he took third place at the World Championship. 2006, we had Simon Bucknell from London Cardinals. And again, in 2007, Simon Bucknell, London Cardinals, and this time at inter-district, he took second place. 2008, we had Sultan Nazir Rathfarnham. 2009, Gareth McHale from Northaven. 2010, Eric Rainey from Manchester Orators. 2011, Malachy Talaby from Croydon Communicators, and he was third in the semi-final. And in 2012, Yvonne Jordan from Enniscorthy was third also in the semi-final at the World Championship.
We have 2013, we have William Debster from HOD Speakers. 2014, Chris Bowden from Maidenhead Speakers. 2015, Jim Gregory from Manchester Orators. Simon Scriver, 2016, Dublin Toastmasters. 2017, Vanette Hoffman-Jackson from Luton Speakers. 18, Deirdre Lennon from Speakeasy Club Mallow. 2019, we have Philip Campani, Society Toastmasters in Dublin, and he actually took third place in Region 10. 2020, we have Ashley Tobin, Wicklow Toastmasters. 2021, we have Kyla Murtaugh, Central Toastmasters, and he actually placed in 10. And year 22, we have James McGinty from Pegasus Advanced Speakers.
Okay, thank you.
Back to you, Patricia.
Go ahead, James. Yeah.
Now we move on to the evaluation contest winners. In 1999, John Cronin from Lucan. 2000, Mary Davis, the club is not available. 2001, Ian Reeves from Maidenhead Speakers. 2002, Angus Galbraith, Thames Speakers. 2003, Janet Rose from Maidenhead Speakers. 2004, Chris Cox from Cambridge Speakers. 2005, Bob Ferguson from Excalibur Speakers. 2006, John Evans from Thames Down Speakers. 2007, Kate Atkin, Anglia Communicators. 2008, Hilary Briggs, Grosvenor Square Speakers. 2009, Simon Bucknell from Excalibur Speakers. And in 2010, James Cameron from Southside Speakers.
Thank you, Seamus.
And Patricia, I'd like to ask Chris Bowden if he would please come on and tell us what it takes to win an evaluation contest. So Chris Bowden, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster, and welcome to everybody. It's really wonderful to be here back in District 71. I joined in 2007, and in 2011, I was fortunate enough to be handed the district trophy by Teresa Jukes in Windsor. And that was wonderful. To be a good evaluator, I think it's so important, because the thing that really makes Toastmasters work are quality evaluations. You know, we do a thing, But if we don't get some good feedback on it, then we just keep doing the thing the same way and we don't get any better. So Red asked me to give one tip on evaluations, and my tip is this: focus on the objective. So if you're giving someone feedback, focus on what is the purpose of the speech, what is the speaker trying to achieve, trying to do, what are they trying to get out of it, and really focus on that, and not just the little superfluous things like what did their hands do and did they use the stage. So really focus on, did they meet their objective? Did they persuade you, or whatever it was? And don't be afraid to say no. So just say, you know what, I might have been more persuaded if. So focus on that, and great to see everyone, and thank you for putting this event on and inviting me.
Okay, well, there you go. In 2011, we have Chris Bowden from Maidenhead Speakers, and great tip, Chris. 2012, Lynn Cantor from Excalibur Speakers. 2013, we have John Weber, Solent Speakers. 2014, Simon Bucknell, Excalibur Speakers. 2015, Elaine Gallagher from IE Temple Bar. 2016, James McGinty, Southside Speakers. 2017, Colin McGlade, IE Temple Bar. 2018, Pat Sexton from Speakeasy Club in Mallow. 2019, Simon Day from Leeds City Toastmasters. 2020, Kyle Murtha from Central Toastmasters. 2021, Ryan Park from West Hart Speakers. And 2022, this year, Kyle Murtha from Central Toastmasters. Red.
We're going to start off in 1995 with William Horwood from Oxford Speakers. 96, Pat Sexton from Speakeasy Mallow. 97, Helen Henega, Society Club Dublin. 98, John Cronin, Lucan Club. 99, Bill Russell from London Corinthians. 2000, Alan Warner, London Corinthians. 2001, Bob Harvey, Bromley Speakers. 2002, Bill Russell, London Corinthians. 2003, Paul Carroll, London Ethians. 2004, David Jones, London Olympians. 2005, Sheila Merriman from North Norfolk Speakers.
Do you want to call on David now?
We can definitely call on David Jones to please tell us what makes a good table topic. So David.
Hello, great to be here with you on your anniversary. I joined in 2004 and I was asked to give you some tips on how to win table topics. I'll give you 3 tips, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, you need to move from fear to flow. So you need to overcome your anxiety and be in the flow when you are speaking on stage. Basically, that means fully focused and engaged in the activity of talking about that topic. Secondly, go with the first thing that comes into your head. Whatever it is, you will have some knowledge or some understanding of it, or if you don't, your brain will be able to give you plenty of good ideas. And if you're not nervous, if you are in the flow, then your brain will feed you what you have to say. And you'll be able to deliver a very good answer, because there is no one single correct answer. There are lots of good answers. The audience just wants to hear your opinion. So if you give a good reasoned opinion with lots of attitude, then you will do well. And the third piece of advice is it's a conversation. It's not like a prepared speech. This is a conversation. You are in the moment with the audience, and you have to engage the audience. So you need to talk to them. You need to try and draw them in and make them part of this conversation. Obviously, you're doing 99% of the talking during this conversation, but you have to make them feel involved so that they will pay attention to you. I think the more practice you get, the more topics you do, the more confidence you will acquire, and the better you will be. Obvious, isn't it? Goes without saying. So if you're not yet doing topics, then step up, get outside your comfort zone. If you are, then keep going, keep practicing. If I can win topics, I promise you, anybody can. There we go. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Great, thank you, David. Great tips. I've been writing them down. Great tips.
Okay, continuing on with the table topics contest winners, 2006, Pat Sexton from Speakeasy in Mallow. 2007, John Kelly from Thurles. 2008, David T. Jones, London Olympians. 2009, Kevin Walsh from Moy. 2010, David T. Jones, Excalibur Speakers. 2011, James McGinty, Chelmsford Speakers. And 2012 and 13, the one and only David T. Jones again. Excalibur in 2012 and 2013 was Holborn Speakers.
Oh, stop it, stop it.
Okay, so 2014, we have Elizabeth Tuick from Thames Speakers. 2015, Pat Sexton, again from Speakeasy Mallow. 2016, Paula Kelleher from Cork Toastmasters. 2017, David Clinton from Athy Toastmasters. And now we come to 2018-19, when there was no November conference. So 2019, we have Vanette Hoffman-Jackson from Bedford Speakers. 2020, Jenny Britt from Luton Speakers, a past district finance manager. 2021, Siobhan Fitzgerald from Athlone Toastmasters. 2022, that's the current year, James McGinty from Pegasus Advanced.
For the humorous speech contest winners, starting off in 1987, we have David Lindsay from Thames Speakers. 1988, our one and only Ted Corcoran from Finnegal Toastmasters. 89 is now Blake from Ennis Toastmasters. 1990, we have Noel O'Bara, Finnegal Toastmasters. 1991, Mare O'Reilly from Hellfire. 92, Jerry Moran, Kilkenny Club. 93, Liam Grimes from Finnegal Toastmasters. And 94, Brendan Toll from Glasnevin Club. And at this time, I'd like to call on Dermot Carey to give us 2 minutes on what it takes to win a humorous speech contest, besides humor. Dermot.
Thank you very much, Red, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. I think a couple of things that I would feel is important when you're doing a humorous speech contest. Number one is that you have a topic that you're comfortable with, something that you feel is important to you, or that you can really relate to, and therefore it flows very well. The second thing is to make sure that your speech will travel. I've seen many times where people are talking about very specific things that may not travel when you get to district level, and I think that's important. But the main thing is to exaggerate, and don't be afraid to dress up or take your clothes off. I think they're really, really important as well, and to use props. And if you're using props, to make sure you have yourself structured in such a way that you use the stage properly so you can get back to the props. But overall, I think to be comfortable with the topic, to make sure your speech travels, and to not be afraid to exaggerate. Thank you very much, Red.
Thank you, Dermot.
1995, Matt Lawley from Speakeasy in Mallow. 96 was David O'Keefe from Cork. 1997, name is not available, but I'm sure there's somebody here in the room that will be able to fill us in and tell us who that was. 1998 was Siobhan O'Connor from Castleknock. 99, Ray Cotter from the Lucan Club. 2000, Andrew Brammer from Norwich Speakers. 2001 was Aileen Bennett from London Corinthians. 2002, Kieran Blair from Engineers Club. 2003, Chris Cox from Cambridge Speakers. And 2004 was Noreen McSweeney, Muskerry.
2005, we have Jerry French from Fingal Toastmasters. 2006, Cole McInnes from London Cardinals. 2007, Bev Avis-Dakin from Spa Speakers. 2008, Michael Cronin from Speakeasy Mallow. 2009, Bob Ferguson from Excalibur Speakers. 2010, Adam Broomfield-Strawn from Aaron Speakers. 2011, Ola Araleppo from Tube Talk. And 2012, Tanya West, Southwest Speakers.
In 2013, we had Brian Faulkner from Speakeasy at Martlesham. 2014 is Gaina Cooper from Warrington Toastmasters. 2015, Jerry French from Fingal Toastmasters. 2016, James McGinty from Central Toastmasters. 2017, Guy Doza from Cambridge Toastmasters. Again, we had no contest in 2018. 2019, we have Dermot Carey from Uncensored Speakers. 2020, we have Hannah Spencer from Cambridge Assessments. 2021, we have Ita Fintery from Gory Toastmasters. And 2022, Aaron Day from Elvet Speakers. And thank you to all of our contest winners. To make it to that level, to win at the district level is an amazing task. And for the international speech contest winners that went on to the world stage, my hat's off to you guys, because that is something in another level. So thank you all very much. And back to you, Patricia.
All right, so thank you all very much. That was a bit of a whistle-stop tour. We're going to take a break now for 10 minutes. And when we come back, we have our wonderful District 71 50-year golden poem called The Golden Path. It's going to be read by 5 Toastmasters from each of the 5. So from Ireland, from Northern Ireland, from Scotland, from England, and from Wales. So that's definitely worth coming back for. And then we're going to have all of the past district directors complete with their photographs. And I have to tell you that most of them today do not resemble the photograph that you're going to see of them. So have a break, get a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, a glass of water, or whatever refreshment you want. See you back in 10 minutes. Thank you. Okay, so welcome back, everybody. And I hope that you all enjoyed a little bit of some kind of refreshment. I personally had some water, but I also had some chocolate. I thought I needed to keep my strength up. So we're going to call now on Anya O'Neill. She's the District 71 poet in residence, and she's the person who has written The Golden Path of District 71. And I'm going to allow Anya to introduce her poem and to introduce the members that are going to speak it.
Thanks very much, Madam Toastmaster Patricia. My name is Anya O'Neill, and I am this year's District 71 poet in residence. I had the honour of being asked to write a bespoke poem for the district to help celebrate its 50th anniversary. When putting pen to paper to write this poem, I decided to use symbols which represent each of the countries involved in the district, such as the gentle flower of Scotland or England's Bard of Tales. I wove these symbols together with the Toastmasters tradition of speeches and vision, along with words of inspiration to help celebrate the wonderful milestone that is this, our 50th year. The Golden Path of District 71 is the final product of this combination of words. There is a reader selected for each country of the poem, and I am thrilled and honoured that they are now going to each read a verse. So let me introduce them to you. Representing England, we have Maddie Crisp from Huntingdonshire Speakers. For Northern Ireland, we have Emma Dixon from Lagan Valley Toastmasters. Representing Scotland, we have Anne Fallow from Inverness Toastmasters. For Wales, we have Stephen Dance from Why Not Speakers. And representing Ireland, we have Catherine Ryan from Kilkenny Toastmasters. I'd like to hand over now to Maddie Crisp, who's going to start off the poem for us all tonight. Over to you, Maddie.
Cast your mind back to 1972, to the epic encounter of District 71's crew, from the gentle flower of Scotland to the singing choirs of Wales, from Ireland's band of scholars to England's Bard of Tales.
Different accents, different traditions, linked by 5 decades of speeches and vision. The home of Seamus Heaney gave the pen its magic spark. From icebreaker to distinguished Toastmaster, you've shaped District 71 and made your mark.
To the Joycean scholars among us, in the land of patron saints, come, toast this great occasion until the daylight hours are faint. In the rugged glens of Scotland, gentle flowers raise their heads. To the lilt of the pipes, District 71 will chime as toasties party in their steads.
The Welsh's glorious voices ring out good and loud. On this, our 50th birthday, their fervour makes us proud. The world can be our stage, as England's bard once said, a saying in the district inscribed forever in our heads.
The District 71 adventure has just begun. Let's sing happy birthday and have some fun. For 50 years we've opened our doors, reached out our hands across neighbouring shores. For 50 more, may we continue to strive, and for 50 more, may our district thrive. I now hand you back to Anya, our poet in residence. Anya.
Thanks very much, Catherine. And I really hope you all enjoyed hearing the poem recited so wonderfully by our 5 readers. I think it really sums up nicely how, despite being from different countries with all their various different traditions, we are united together in continuing to strive for greater things under the Toastmasters umbrella. I hope everyone has a really great night, and here's to many more happy years to come in our district. Back to you, Patricia.
Oh, thank you very much, Anya, for that wonderful poem celebrating our 50-year anniversary. And thank you to Maddie and Emma and Anne, to Stephen and to Catherine. Thank you all very much. All right, so we're going to go on now to the past district directors. And just before I start reading out from the slides, we just wanted to let you have a look at. So on the left-hand side of my screen, when I look at it, is the old chain of office, which I understand that past district director Mary O'Connor has in very safe keeping. And on the right-hand side, we have the current chain of office. And I had the honor and the privilege and was very proud to wear this in 2018-19. They are both beautiful, and they both give a record of all our wonderful past district directors. So way back 1971 and to 1972, we had Gaylord Giles from Shillelagh. 72-73 was Ben Marriott from Southend-on-Sea. 73-74, Jeff Barker from Bedford. 74-75, Mike Murdoch from Shillelagh. 75-76, Niall O'Riordan from Cork. 76-77, Niall Brunicardi from Moy. 77-78, Patrick Dullahan from Engineers. And again, 78-79, Patrick Dullahan from Engineers. 79-80, we have Andrew Ducker from Epsom. And 1980-1981, Mike Murdoch from Shillelagh.
In 1981, we had Gerald Keane from Grosvenor Square. We have George Gallagher Daggett from Oxford in 1982, and Mary O'Connor from Watford in 1983.
1994-95, David Lindsay from Thames Speakers. 1985-86, Mary Dewan, Dún Laoghaire. And 86-87, Norman Rhodes from Maidenhead.
Before I go on to the next screen, many of us will remember that Norman Rhodes was the person who did our regalia before the district was reformed. 1987 to 1988, we have Harry Knox from DLS Communicators. John Earnshaw from Oxford was 1988 to 89. And then Joe Prendergast from Cromwell from 1988 and 1990. And now I would like to call on Brian O'Connor to say a few words on his year as district director or district governor at the time.
Thank you, Patricia. And it's so great to be with you all here today and wallow in the memories and see so many people who are still involved. And I looked at that list of 30-year plus members. And yes, I joined in 1983, Patricia, but unfortunately I had a 5-year gap in the middle, so haven't made your consistent 30-year list if I'd only known, but anyway. But it really strikes me that that golden thread that the poem just spoke about is so much seen in our consistent membership who pass the knowledge and the training from person to person. And I think that's been a theme this evening. My year was 1992-93, so exactly 30 years ago I started. And again, reflecting on the people who contributed to the poem in the various geographic regions, we had grown from 1972, 32 clubs, as Ted said, to 1992, just 57 clubs, and less than 20 in the United Kingdom, and all buried in the southeastern corner. 3 clubs in London. Mike Silverman, I remember, proposed expanding London, and there was some opposition on the basis that the population wouldn't support more than 3 clubs. So that'll tell you some of the thinking at the time. We, I think, started though at that time to build the foundations of future success, because one of the major things that happened was the year before me, whilst there had been individual successful years, Harry had a very successful year, David Lindsay did, Joe Prendergast did, in terms of overall district achievement, there was a lack of consistency through the years. And part of that was because the leadership team used to be split. And one year it would be Irish, all Irish, next year it would be all United Kingdom. And from 1991-92, Merrill Coe established, my predecessor established a united leadership team spanning all geographic areas, and we consistently kept that going. And I think that was a foundation of success. And the second piece, my leadership team of Norman Fox and Ted Corcoran in particular, and it came up with a new way of managing the clubs. We called it the Club Excellence Program. It was a germ of an idea Ted had, and thank goodness we all took it and ran with it. And ultimately, the district club program became based on it. And Toastmasters International recognized the power of it because, as so many people have said here, it focused on the individual member, what the individual member could achieve, and then adding up those achievements to be the club membership and then the district membership. So as someone in the US said to me at the time, you guys will never succeed. You're building from the bottom up rather than the top down. Apologies for my accent, Red. But I think we showed that that is the way to lead. You lead from the bottom up. You inspire your membership. You look at what your membership needs are and you serve your members. Anyone, to my knowledge, who took a leadership position in Toastmasters to further their own personal gains was never a success. Thankfully, they've been few and far between. We have had the beauty of having leaders who have looked to the members, seen what their needs are, and worked to them. I have never been prouder than in 1993 in Toronto to pick up the first ever award for President's Distinguished District for District 71, which was number 6 in the world at the time. It's been followed by many more. In the future, it'll be followed by more again. I believe we have challenges at the moment because we're coming out of COVID, but there's never been a time when Toastmasters was needed more by people who have spent 2 years not able to communicate face to face. We can serve a need of a whole new generation of people. All we have to do is reach out our hands and call them in. So thank you very much, Patricia, for giving me the opportunity, and I wish you all the success in the future.
Well, thank you very much, Brian, for those wonderfully inspiring words and also that great advice. And a note in regard to the break in service, you should have sent in a doctor's note. We're going to move on. I think Red is next.
1990 to 91, we have Ian Jones from Tame. 91-92, we have Merrill Cole from Asbury. And 92-93, we have Brian O'Connor, President's Distinguished District number 6.
1993-4, Norman Fox from Maidenhead, Distinguished District. 1994-95, Ted Corcoran Fingal. Any of you ever heard of him? And he was President Distinguished in the World number 2. And 1995-96, Ken Norman from Oxford, Distinguished District.
96-97, we had Hilda McHugh from Limerick, President's Distinguished District and number 6. 97-98, we had Mike Silverman, Corinthians, Select Distinguished number 7. And in 98-99, we had Cecil Kirk from AIB, who was, of course, the district parliamentarian for many, many years.
And in 1999 to 2000, we have David McLeod from Maidenhead.
Now moving on to the 2000 and to 2010 past district directors.
2000, 2001, Mary O'Connell in Middleton. 2001, 2002, Margaret Worthy from Guildford and Distinguished District number 13. And 2002, 3, Angus Galbraith Thames Select Distinguished District number 10.
2003 to 04, we have Jeremiah Ronayne from Speakeasy Select Distinguished number 7. 2004, 2005, we have David Thompson from Athenians Select Distinguished number 8. And 2005 to 2006, we had Linda Malloy from Bray Select Distinguished District number 8. And Linda is here to say a few words.
Hello, sorry, thank you very much, Patricia, and good evening to everybody. Unfortunately, I'm proud to say we were President's Distinguished number 4 in the world. So just unfortunately, the slide is slightly incorrect because it's one of the proudest achievements in my life. But like any achievement, we cannot achieve without the support of all of my area and division governors and my district council members, because without all of the good communication, the leadership that each of them gave me and showed to their clubs helped every member achieve their own personal targets and goals, because people join Toastmasters for different reasons. It's for personal improvement, maybe it's a career move, they've come out of some trauma in their lives, where Toastmasters has been the one thing that has given us all the encouragement to go forward and find our voice. And that is so, so important. And I think sometimes it goes a little bit awry and goes a little bit amiss, because communication, it is a communication organization. And I think we have to listen as well as speak. But I would like to acknowledge people that I had a wonderful, wonderful experience of. First of all, I'd like to thank Angus Galbraith and Brian O'Connor. They were a wonderful support to me behind the scenes, where when I had a hiccup or a problem, I could turn to them and ask for guidance and advice as a district leader. Secondly, my area governors, my area governor of the year was Jan Collins, who tragically died shortly after her experience as area governor, and Jane Cameron from Scotland. And of course, my Toastmaster of the year, Pauline McKay, because the Mullingar Club, under the leadership of Pauline and John Waldron, were just made my conference, my final conference, so successful. But it's all down to the teamwork. Giving the people the encouragement, the freedom to develop themselves, but always let them know you're behind them to support them, and that you're the shoulder they can lean on as they need it, but you never try and cut their rope. Let them develop, but equally let them know that you're there to support them. So to me, the success of District 71, making Presidents Distinguished 4th in the world, was all down to the wonderful team that I had surrounding me, and of course, most importantly, to all of the clubs and members who did their bit as well. So I am so, it's one of my proudest, that Brian says, times in my life, to actually say I was district governor and we made Presidents Distinguished, but only with my team who supported me and were behind me and with me all the way on that wonderful, wonderful journey. And of course, my good friend, David Thompson, who I always had such great time for, who was also great encouragement to me. So thank you very much to the district, and may you have future successes as the years unfold. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Linda, and we will change that slide before this is put up onto the website.
In 2006, 2007, we have Nick Benning from Guildford. 2007, 2008, we have Mary Murtaugh from Limerick. And 2008, 2009, we have Gary Sander from Deir Matriculates, where he got Select Distinguished. Mary got Select Distinguished, and Nick also got Select Distinguished.
Thank you, Red. And now I'd like to call on Gary Sander to say a few words.
I'd just like to say thank you, I think, to one of the biggest families on this planet. that's how I felt about Toastmasters and becoming part of Toastmasters, and having the chance to stand as a district director was like being a big brother who took along the family that made things great. There was great leaders before me, there was great leaders after me, and it was all that, the lineage, if you like, of how we tried to improve and help others. As was said before, it's led from the bottom, it's not led from the top. We are there just to guide and assist, and it's the people that are within the clubs who do most of the work. As a district director, I didn't do much. I was one of those that quite gladly delegated to others, and it was the others that did all the work and made the difference. I was just, as you can see from that picture there, the handsome, good-looking figurehead. And yes, some of the pictures have changed, Patricia, from what they looked like then to what we look like now. But it was a pleasure, it was an honor following on from the previous directors. And it was definitely one of the most wonderful times of my life, being part of that family and still being part of that family and still enjoying watching it grow and succeed in every way and form possible. And I hope that all the future leaders, and I will say that quite a lot of them, they will say, well, I can't do that, or that's easy. 99% of those are wrong. It's not easy, but it's worth doing. And everyone stands the chance of doing that role or taking on the challenges that Toastmasters set. It's been a pleasure. Back to you.
Oh, thank you very much, Gary. And so say all of us. It is hard work, but it's well worth doing. And everyone should aspire to being on the district leadership team.
2009, 2010, Joe Gibbs, Killaloe Ballina, and he achieved Distinguished District.
Now we're on the final stretch of the district directors. First up, we have Teresa Dukes, Speakeasy at Martlesham, 2010 to 2011, Select Distinguished District number 8. And then comes Jim Hegarty from Thomond, 2011 to 2012, Distinguished District number 32. And Freddie Daniels, who was the person who tapped me on the shoulder and went, Patricia, have you ever thought about going on to the district? 2012 to 2013, Select Distinguished District number 1.
2013, 2014, we have Luann Kent from Castleknock, Select Distinguished District number 1. And also she was the district director for in 2014, 2015 as well. She's actually the one that tapped me on the shoulder to say, you should think about coming into the district leadership team. Then we have Kevin Lee from Waverley, 2015, 2016, Select Distinguished, and Michael Collins from Shannon, 2016, 2017.
Thank you, Red. And now I would like to call on our last speaker in this section, Kevin Lee.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, it was the first year that district governors became district directors. It was a period of change. District 71 had lost 121 clubs to the newly formed District 91. And at the same time, I decided that was the year I'll have my first child. Future district directors, please don't do that. But one thing's always resonated with me. Toastmasters clubs are like campfires. For all of those who sit around to enjoy the warmth of the flame, you contribute by picking up the wood, by stoking the fire. And for everyone who works hard to keep the fire going, you enjoy the warmth of the flame. It draws people in It brings those around it closer together. And by having more campfires burning bright across our district, the district becomes successful and distinguished. And going forward, I hope more campfires will be lit, welcoming more people to sit around it, to feel its warmth, to encourage more people to stand up, pick a few bits of firewood. The little boy that you saw on the screen earlier, that was Ronan. He was there at his very first district conference, barely 6 weeks old. He fell asleep on that one, and today when I said I was speaking, he duly ran away and hid. But believe me, I hope to see our district, the cities in our district, light up like a beacon, shining brightly, providing warmth to new members as they come and sit around the fireplace. Getting better, growing stronger, and, like Gary Sander, delegating the role of finding firewood to others. Occasionally showing them how to stoke the fire without getting burnt. So if you ever had doubts about whether this is for you or not, I don't look that much different compared to the photograph. Not everybody turns grey after becoming district director. I wish District 71 every success. And yes, we started off being distinguished. I think, COVID or no COVID, our district can build on the success of the past, continue to foster our members, and continue to see success further forward. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Kevin.
Yes, this is my slide. I was told this is one of the best slides in it. At least that's what I was asked to say. So I won't say any more than that. 2017-18, Red Skelton, Brandon. 2018-19, Patricia O'Reilly, Balbriggan. And 2019-20, John Cox from East Midlands.
Okay, thank you very much, Seamus. And now we are down to the last three. We have in 2020 to 21, Gerard Mannix from Kilmarnie. Currently 2021-22, Daniel Sanders from Cranfield. And for next year, and all our hopes rest with you. 2022 to 2023, we have Brenda Lannon from Fingal. And we wish Brenda the very best of luck and her team the very best of luck for next year. Okay, sorry. Now I would like if we could all just give a round of applause, not just to the past district directors, but to all of our members that are here for, it doesn't matter, for as long, even if they only started a month ago, for all our current members, all our current clubs. And can we just give a big, big jazz hands, round of applause for every one of them. Thank you. I'm going to hand over now to Daniel Sanders, who's going to deal with the next part.
Thank you very much, Patricia. For its 50th anniversary, District 71 has commissioned some awards for service and leadership to District 71. I want to introduce you to the Board of Directors. It has key responsibilities in discipline, budget, delivering the international mission. But it also has a couple of key features. They develop the organisational strategy and policies and ensuring their implementation. But above all, they incorporate members' needs into organisational decisions. It's never been particularly easy for our members to rise up to the board. At one point, I'm told Ted Corcoran in 1996, 1998 did so. Robert Coburn, 2002 to 2004 did so. Teresa Jukes, 2015 to 2017, they did so. It's become slightly more organised recently, 2009, 2010. Previously, there were a lot of districts that were not assigned to regions. And there were only, in those days, 2 board members from anywhere outside the United States. In 2009, 2010, the districts were put into a proper regional structure. And initially, District 71 was in Region 11, which was Europe, the Middle East and Africa. And more recently still, we've Region 10, Europe. And the person I want to recognise tonight is Teresa Jukes. She joined originally in 1999, coming up to 22 years and 6 months service, but one never mentions an age with such a classic vintage. As we've heard recently, District 71 Director 2010-2011, select distinguished number 8 in the world. Teresa June originally joined Ipswich Electrifiers, and as recently as 2004, that is, joined Speakeasy at Martlesham Speakers Club. Teresa Jukes, I'd like to present this conceptual award to you. Thank you very much.
It is an honor to accept that award, Mr. District Director of District 71, Daniel Sanders. I wasn't expecting that, so that is wonderful, and it is an interesting award to accept because we have gone through so much within this district, and to be able to be a part of it, from being that first club that I was a member of with Ipswich Electrifiers and Kathy Shelbourne and everybody else on here that's from Electrifiers, finding my feet and actually then finding my voice and being tapped on the shoulder by different individuals, from David Thompson to Nick Benning to Ted Corcoran, to say, yes, Teresa, you have potential, go for it. And I think that's what this organization is all about, actually finding our feet, finding our voice, and getting pushed by those other leaders that see the potential. So if you're being tapped on the shoulder or you're being pushed, then say yes, is what I would say. Thank you so much.
So go ahead, Teresa, the next part is with you.
Okay, so the next part, this is quite an interesting section, because we as an organization, we as a district got so big back in 2010-11 that we put in a letter of intent to our board of directors to let them know that we were ready to divide into two sustainable districts that would fly as we wanted to, because we had gotten so big, we needed to be able to manage our districts appropriately. So they decided that they would ask us to take care of the history of our district, because once we had divided, once we had split into those two districts, it was important for us to maintain the history of our district. And so Mr. Acting President Richard Peck, past international president Ted Corcoran, my district directors, Daniel Sanders and Helena Bowden from District 91. Thank you guys for being a part of this, and all of our members for being a part of this, because if anybody in this district could actually maintain the history of our district, it would have to be our past international president, Mr. Ted Corcoran. And I can remember meeting him the very first time in Edinburgh, at the Edinburgh conference, when he was immediate past international president. It was his first year as immediate past. And he knew everybody. He knew everything that you can think of that needed to happen. He knew what he could write. He knew what he could not write. And he also knows where all the bodies are buried, right? So as far as maintaining the history of our district, Ted was put in charge of writing that. And with Ted's permission, we as a district, and I don't know if you can see this or not, are going to publish his history, a comprehensive history of Toastmasters in Great Britain and Ireland. And it will encompass all of our years from 1935 up to this year, 2022. And it has all the information that Ted has been so prolific at delivering to you in different little snippets. Now you're going to get it all in one big go, with everything included in there. But one of the things that I wanted to let you know is that we reached out to some of these past district directors and asked them for their voice and for what they have taken away from being a district director. And we got so many replies from that. I can announce that we will be publishing this book within the next week. I have just had one extra input given to me today, so I have to go back and now fix it. But it is with great honor, and with the help of Bob Ferguson, and also with the help of Freddie Daniels and Ted himself, we have edited this book and we're getting it to a point where it's going to be an amazing history and collection of information about our district. But that leads me to recognize Ted for another reason. I mean, he has to be one of the most interesting individuals I have ever met in my life. And it gives me great honor to present him with this recognition award. It actually says on it, Ted Corcoran, Distinguished Toastmaster DTM and past international president from United Kingdom and Ireland, 50th anniversary, 1972 to 2022, in recognition for your dedication to our District 71. Thank you, Mr. Past International President, for being such a humble and knowledgeable man to give us such a gift.
Thank you so much, Teresa. Thank you, District 71. Yes, it's a great honor for me to be here tonight and celebrate the 50th with you all. And I just want to mention somebody who played an important, crucial role in helping me write the history, because I had a pretty good knowledge of what happened from 1986 onwards, but nothing before that. And it's strange how things work out in life, and my life is full of strange happenings, coincidences. I was invited into the Denver Carey's Club, the Dublin Club, to give a little talk on leadership. And during the little talk, I mentioned Paddy Cunningham, the guy who founded Dublin Toastmasters way back in 1958 after a whole lot of trouble. So I paid tribute to his persistence, because he persisted and persisted and persisted when everything was going against him, until finally the first club in Ireland was actually chartered. So I was delighted to be able to say that at his club, even though he wasn't there. He's long since passed. And I came home on the train and turned on my laptop, and there's an email, and it said, "Hi, Ted. This is Lisa Cunningham. Haven't seen you for years. I was cleaning out the attic and I found a whole lot of my father's books and papers about Toastmasters. Would you like to have them?" And from that trove of treasure trove, I wrote the history from 1935. So I want to pay tribute to Paddy Cunningham and to his daughter Lisa for making sure it fell into the right hands. Secondly, I was so proud to represent District 71 as the international president in 2003, 2004. We were a very small district for a long time. It didn't seem possible that anybody from here would be able to command sufficient votes to be elected third vice president and then subsequently international president. But urged on by many people, and with a superb campaign team led by Brian O'Connor, who you saw earlier, I was elected international director in '96 in St. Louis, Missouri. And then we went on and I was elected third vice president in Miami, Florida in 2000. And I was very proud to sit at that top table in 2003-04 as our international president. It was the best moment of my life to see that what can be done by a small district with people who are enthusiastic, who are committed, who help each other. And we have this saying down in the country where I come from, County Kerry, Ireland. We have a name called the Meitheal, M-E-I-T-H-E-A-L. It's an Irish name, Irish language name. And it means in the countryside, you can't do much on your own if you're a farmer. You need help for cutting the corn, saving the hay, doing this, doing that. But people came from all directions to help. And then we went back to help them. And I think that's what happens in the Toastmasters Club. Everybody helps everybody else without being asked, without looking for any return, without any money changing hands. It's just this anxiety to help other people. And as our international acting president said at the start, changing lives one at a time. So many people change mine. And it gives me great pleasure then to change as many as I can before I depart the sea. Thank you very much for the presentation.
Thank you very much, Ted. I think we'd Are you okay now, Ted? We can move on to Daniel too.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Ted. And indeed, I think, Ted, I can say thank you from quite a lot of members in this district for all the help that you have given them and put us all through various of our leadership roles. So I'm going to hand over now to...
No, before you go, there's one thing that I forgot, overlooked, but it's this. Can you see it on the camera, everyone?
You got that very quickly, Ted.
I did. I've been sculpting it all day. Yeah.
It moved from my house to your house very quickly.
Yeah. Oh, was that where it was? I thought Seamus had made it. But anyway, it gives me a great pleasure to present this to Patricia, who has served as regional advisor for Region 9 for 2021-22 and has been reappointed to do it again in 22-23. There are some 8 districts in Region 9, some in Canada and some in Northeastern America, and she's done a great job. And she has worked with the districts and brought the Irish approach and the British approach to getting them to perform even better than they normally would. So congratulations on a fine achievement, Patricia. And I will sure we'll see each other sometime so I can give it to you in person. Thanks very much.
Well, thank you very much, Ted. And I guess I have to thank Seamus and Red and Adrian as well. I actually did not have any idea, but now I understand the conversation that went on earlier today. And you know, I did say that. Well,
I just want to say I had a thing to close the meeting with, but have you time for it?
Yes.
You have? Okay. Well done, Madam Toastmaster. Happy 50th birthday, District 71. Congratulations. 50 years of growing are in the Irish language, Craigha Blian Ag Fás. What a wonderful achievement. And I'm so happy to be part of this special celebration. Helen Blanchard from California, who in 1985-86 became the first woman to serve as international president, has a well-remembered sentence from an inspirational speech, which is still as relevant today. It is this: if you get out of Toastmasters what you can get out of Toastmasters, you will never get out of Toastmasters. This sentence, I think, very aptly describes the 3 sections of membership which have brought us this far since 1972. Firstly, our past members who increased their confidence levels and built their communication skills over the years and who hopefully got out of Toastmasters what they desired from their membership. These people kept the show on the road in the 70s and 80s when we had just between 30 and 50 clubs in these entire islands. Then in the 90s and 2000s, they catapulted District 71 to the upper reaches of the world rankings, achieving distinguished or better for 17 years out of 20. What an outstanding and unprecedented achievement, unmatched by any other district in the world. Secondly, our newish current members who are getting out of Toastmasters all that is available to you from your membership. More choice of clubs, more paths, more leadership opportunities, more opportunities to enter the different contests. You are the future of our district, and we are delighted to have you. Finally, the third section of membership, all stagers like me, who have been members for many years and who have got out of Toastmasters what we get out of Toastmasters, but we still hang in there and bring our what could be described as corporate knowledge to the newer members and clubs. This knowledge is vital to the growth of these members in every facet of their Toastmasters experience. And in the case of new clubs, to the expansion generally of our district. And I think I can speak for all of us. We are very happy to continue to stay and serve our clubs and district in whatever way we can. I'm also delighted that these still proud, long-standing members with many, many years of membership over the years in the good and bad times have been identified for recognition at this special commemorative event. Thank you for your continued service. So to paraphrase President Blanchard's words, no matter what you got out of Toastmasters or what you're currently getting out of Toastmasters, I'm hoping you're not contemplating getting out of Toastmasters. If this be the case, then let us stride purposefully towards the next 50 years, proud of our achievements to date, confident in our abilities to bring the advantages of Toastmasters speaking and leadership skills to the many, many people who could profit from them, thus changing their lives for the better. Let us apply our leadership skills to this worthy goal, keeping the words of Robin Sharma in mind when he says, leadership is not about a title or a designation, it's about impact, influence, and inspiration. End of quote. Many thanks to all those members who had a positive impact on any aspect of our district over these past 50 years and who have also influenced and inspired us all. Now let us do the same going forward, beginning today, so that in 50 years' time, Toastmasters of that era will thank us for our efforts. So congratulations to all concerned with organizing this event, and onwards and upwards. In the meantime, happy birthday again, and hope you enjoy the celebrations. Now, to bring this very special half-century event to a close, I return control to our District Director, Daniel Saunders. Back to you, Daniel.
Thank you very much, Ted. And that's a very moving summary of the district. Absolutely fantastic. I think as a district, we can be really rightly proud of our history and our achievements. And I really send a message out to all of you today. Continue to stoke up those fires, throw on a few more logs and bring a few guests to our meetings. There's still 18 days to go in this district recognition year. I'd really like to thank Patricia O'Reilly and in particular Finance Manager Eileen O'Neill, who've really driven this project together and have pulled all of the data that we've needed, contacted people, reached out. I'd like to thank Red Skelton and Seamus tonight for helping to co-present the 50th anniversary recognition. That's been fantastic. And in particular, I really want to give a special shout out to our poet in residence, Anya O'Neill, for that wonderful Golden Pathway poem that drew together all 5 nations. That's really, really fantastic. I'd love to see that celebrated up on our website as a real wow. And last but not least at all, our Zoom masters, Gilroy Murphy, and our timekeeper, Liz Welch. Thank you very much for hosting us on Zoom tonight. Without you, it wouldn't have happened now, would it? Thank you very much. I'd now like to formally call this 50th anniversary Hall of Fames to a close. Wish you all well. Thank you very much.